From the PEP Radio Newsroom, this is the daily news for June 17th, 2026. These are the stories we are covering at this hour. Health experts in Africa warn that the current Ebola outbreak may be worse than the outbreak between 2014 and 2016 that killed more than 11,000 people. If we don't stop the outbreak very soon, it will be worse than what we had in West Africa and Eastern DRC. Jen Kaseya, the Director General of the Africa Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, said at a Tuesday emergency meeting about Ebola for African heads of state. There have been more than 800 confirmed Ebola cases and nearly 200 deaths during this outbreak, which has taken place mostly in the Democratic Republic of Congo since last month, according to the CDC. Pundi Bugyo, the strain of the virus currently spreading, doesn't have any specific treatment or vaccine to combat it. Violence in the region, coupled with the dissemination of misinformation and stigma around receiving treatment, has also allowed the disease to spread more easily. Turning to the war in Iran, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu told President Donald Trump last year that he was the greatest friend Israel ever had in the White House. Now, as Trump tries to finalize a deal to end the war with Iran, he's unloading on Netanyahu with rhetoric that no other American leader has dared to use publicly. He claimed credit for Israel's existence. "Without me, there would be no Israel," and cursed his judgment in interviews. He even described him as crazy. Netanyahu's tenure as prime minister spans 4 U.S. presidents, and he's frustrated all of them at one point or another. But none has voiced that as openly as Trump has, who started the conflict in tandem with Netanyahu. The tension comes as Trump criticizes recent Israeli attacks in Lebanon, which threaten to jeopardize negotiations between Washington and Tehran. Trump has been pushing for a deal as he faces political blowback at home, where the war is unpopular and has driven up gasoline prices. In news closer to home, former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton said that former President Joe Biden made a severe blunder in launching his re-election bid in the 2024 race. He made a terrible mistake for himself, his legacy, and for the country, Clinton told New Yorker editor David Remnick on Monday, adding that whoever emerged from that contest, whether it was the vice president or a governor or a senator or anybody else, would have beaten Donald Trump. So I think it was a terrible miscalculation on the part of President Biden. Clinton also argued that a Democrat would have had a better chance at defeating Trump if Biden hadn't delayed stepping aside until late July. And in Pennsylvania news, Pat Monahan from Train might have left Erie for Los Angeles to pursue his musical career, but Train's newest song and music video show that he has not forgotten his Erie roots. Train, the multiple award-winning rock band fronted by Pat Monahan, recently released a new single called Pennsylvania Turnpike. Monahan released a music video for the song that highlights his upbringing in Erie, from his childhood home to his grade school and high school to where he eventually got his start in music. Our new song, Pennsylvania Turnpike, is a love letter to growing up, to the roads and cities that shaped us, to becoming who we are today, according to a post by Train on YouTube. Train released the new music video for Pennsylvania Turnpike on June 11th. The video is in the form of an introduction to Monahan's life and start to his career growing up in the Erie area. The video begins with an intro of, "Hi, I'm Pat Monahan. I wrote this song to talk about my journey to San Francisco to form the band Train. So I decided to go to where it all began, my hometown of Erie, Pennsylvania." And that's the news at this hour. The PEP Radio YouTube channel has news throughout the day, every day. Be sure to subscribe to keep informed. PEP Radio is available on the Live 365 app, the PEP Radio page at paequality.com, Roku, Alexa, and wherever you find streaming radio. Up next, we have the Meadville area weather forecast here on PEP Radio.